Hey guys, it's me again. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there is an event on my Discord where you can submit your own scary stories and maybe even win a cash prize. Check it out.
So I have a few weird stories about the Indian reservation back home I'd like to share. The area my stories take place is known as the Bottoms or the Water Babies. A little bit of background before I get into it all. The Snake River that runs all through Idaho and some of it goes through the reservation. One particular part of it is where these stories will take place. The story that I got told in high school was that back in the day when the natives would have two kids, they would take them down to the river and hold them under the water, and whichever one didn't die got to go home. I have no idea if this is true or not. I haven't done any research on it, but that's the story. Kids would tell me that you see and hear strange things out there. Basically general creepy stuff. My first time out at the Water Babies, I was hanging out with some friends driving around and suggested we should go check it out. I had never been there and I've always been interested in paranormal stuff. So, drive out to the spot. Pull off to the left side of the road so that we're about in the center of the horseshoe shape and pick related. Where we are sitting, we're about 100 or so feet from the water. We sit in the car watching the water for a few minutes waiting for spooks to happen. My friend next to me in the back seat asks if any of us saw that. Saw what? Says he thought he saw someone walk from the field on one side of the road towards the water a little bit in front of us. Whatever, man, probably just seeing shit or trying to scare us. Keep watching the water. Start seeing white lights rise up from the water and float just on top. At first just one, then two, then three. One would go down and another would pop up somewhere else. Seemed like they were watching us. Out of nowhere, my friend riding shotgun starts yelling at my friend to start the car and leave. I start looking around for headlights thinking a car is coming. The last thing I want is to get stopped by a res cop for parking on a road with the lights off and end up in the reservation jail as a small white kid. I don't see any car lights coming from anywhere. I look over my left shoulder towards the water and I finally see what my friend is yelling about. There is a huge black mass moving up the hill towards the car. It was a clear night, a ton of stars were out, but I couldn't see anything behind this cloud. It looks like it's about 20 feet wide and 10 feet tall and it's moving fast towards us. My buddy driving finally starts the car and in a hurry shifts down and stomps on the gas and we don't go anywhere. I look at the shifter and realize we're not moving because we're in neutral. Fantastic. I look back at the black cloud and it's just about on top of us. My friend riding shotgun shifts into first gear. We peel out for a second, throwing gravel into the scary Indian demon cloud spirit's face and make our getaway. After we finally calm down, we start to laugh about it. We all go to friend's house to play some video games. After the first time out there, I'd go back about once every few weeks when I'd get bored. Never by myself though. It was scary, but it was fun at the same time. Sometimes when we would go out, nothing would happen, we wouldn't see or hear anything. This is the next time I remember that really stands out in my mind. Head back out to the Bottoms with friends. 2 carloads of people, about 10 of us. By this time we would get out of the car to get a better look at the water. Never got too far away from the road though. Also noticed that when we got out of the car we could hear weird stuff. We'd hear something crying out in the bushes. And would also hear what sounded like someone throwing large rocks into the water. That fall thump you get when you drop something big into the water. All of us are standing around watching the lights in the water when someone yells car. I turn around and sure enough there are headlights and red and blue lights coming for us. We all book it to the cars, most of us all pile into one car. Start to take off and the cop is right behind our friend's car that is behind us. He stops the car, I'm guessing because we were already fucked and he didn't want to get into a chase with the cops. Waiting in the car for the cop to come talk to us and probably get cited for something. He's talking to the kids in the other car for a few minutes and finally starts coming towards the car I'm in. While he's walking the 20 or so feet between us, the whole time he's keeping his mag light oriented down towards the water, which I thought was odd. He talks to us, basically says he could sight us but isn't going to, being chill as fuck. He asks what we're doing out here and we tell him we're dumb high school kids just trying to get scared. He's about to let us go when my friend asks if any of the stuff we've heard about the place is true. I forgot to mention that he is a reservation cop, but he just kinda looks at us for a second and says there's some weird stuff out here. We fuck off, and stay away for a while. The last time I went out was just before I signed up and was going to basic training a few weeks later. Since I was leaving soon, I was doing as much partying as possible. A few times I ended up losing everything I had in my pockets. So to prevent myself from losing my car keys, I put a carabiner on them and I would clip the carabiner to my pocket. That will come up again later. Drinking with my friend Brendan, Tom and some guy Tom knows named Steve. He was a super strange metalhead. I suggest again we got to the bottoms. Everyone is down, grab some beers and jump in Tom's car. Brando lives out on the reservation and knows the area a little better than we do. He isn't native but his parents have property out there. He says we should check out a different spot down the road from the horseshoe spot that's right next to the water. Fuck it, might as well. Go to new spot and get out of the car and immediately start seeing the white balls of light. They almost look like alligator eyes when they get hit with a floodlight. There's tons of them, all over the place, all seem to be looking at us. Very strange vibes this night. It felt very weird being this close to the water. Metalhead Steve says fuck this, I'm going in the water. He makes it 2 steps into the river and something about 50 feet from us splashes through the water up onto the bank and starts hauling ass through the bushes towards us. We freak out, run to the car and drive back to Tom's house. We get back and everyone decides to call it a night. I go to my car, reach for my keys, feel my carabiner, but no keys. I had never had any issues with my keys once I started using the D-ring. Fuck my life, some ghost kid stole my car keys. Since losing shit happened a lot before this, I had a spare key in a magnet box underneath the driver door. Drive back out to where we were at by myself. Pull up to the spot and I can see my keys shining in my headlights. I make it a point not to look at the water. If I see anything I might not have the balls to get my keys. Pull up to them, unlock the car, jump out, grab them, jump back into my car, lock the doors, and quickly leave. Make it about 20 minutes down the road and look for my phone to see what time it is. Son of a bitch. Phone was on my lap when I jumped out to get my keys. Drive back out. Same plan of action. This time I have to look around for a second before I see it. Get phone, go home, lay in bed, I'm done with ghosts for a while. That's about all I've got for that. I've been wanting to share this on here for a while and finally had time to sit down and write it all out. Hope you enjoyed.